Deep Digital founder and CEO Dave Maney. Dave, what do you think of that? What propelled us to a record, even with all this talk, as was mentioned, a congressman who already is getting the impeachment talk going?
Well, we are kind of in this just right moment economically, with moderation on the interest rate front and still great optimism about the economy, still a pro-business kind of fundamental affect coming from the Oval Office. And if you kind of play out any of the strings about what might happen on any of these fronts, I think you keep getting to places that say, gee, I think it's either he survives, or you look at, in worst case scenario, you look at a President Pence, who I think markets would see as equally business friendly and perhaps more savvy and less kind of big-footed in how he would go about the business of the place. So I think market guys kind of look at it and say, what me worry?
Do you ever get the sense that the markets and the wealth that's been gained just since Donald Trump's election, maybe it was built on expectations of tax cuts to come. Maybe they still come. Maybe they're basing it on a healthcare rework. What if none of that materializes, or it's put off to next year?
I think I'm okay, and I think the markets are probably okay then. And the reason is because everybody can watch your show, Neil, and everybody on the street can read the newspaper, and they kind of, those scenarios get built into discounted thing. I don't think it's not like we thought there was going to be a tax cut and now there isn't. We're boom, there goes the market. I think they're looking at it and saying, gee, it's kind of looking like
but
neither of these things are going to happen.
But are you surprised the day after, though, Dave? I know it's tight for time. I apologize. We got late with the conference there, but are you surprised that with the talk and the fact, this is festering, got a crisis on our hands, and you read all the papers, watch all the other news, business channels, oh my gosh, we're going to hell in a handbasket. Obviously, the markets have a different view of things.
An interesting way to look at things like what's going to happen is to play them out to logical extremes. You got people throwing around treason and impeachment right now, right? Well, the impeachment process is a political one. It is not there's no strict legal definition, even though we have words that match up, misdemeanor in impeachment and misdemeanors misdemeanor it's a completely political process. You go look at the Bill Clinton thing in 1999, he had a humming economy, humming markets, and everybody kind of looked and said, you know what, we're not going to convict you on that basis.
Whereas the opposite, Richard Nixon did not, and I think that kind of fed the beast.
I think it absolutely fed the beast. And so you always end up in that position of, well, how's the guy doing? How serious was the thing? And there's lots of bad kind of appearances on this thing, but as of yet, nobody said, we got an indictable offense here, and therefore that's automatically going to make everybody say, you're out of here, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you very much, Dave.